All right, hi everybody. My name is Edward Schneiders, and I'm co-founder of Assisti. Assisti is a tool that creates comprehensive documentation for your entire code base. It's really useful for new hires and anybody that needs to view unfamiliar code. I want to quickly run you through how our tool works, what it's for, and just give you a quick demo. So yeah, let's get started. It's super easy to download. Go to VS Code or any VS Code fork and just type in Assisti into the Marketplace tab, and you'll find us right there. Right. So just register with your email and password. Accept the terms and conditions, and that's it, you're in. So Assisti needs to detect a change in order for it to start up. This can be as small as a space. Right after the change has been detected, you'll see the repository filter setup. This is where you choose the files that you want to have documented. The easiest is to just use the AI auto detect. So you see, now the most important 192 files have been chosen. That's great. I can double check here what's been ignored, and then I can go to next. Now it's time to set up our documentation customization. So in Assisti, you have full control over the AI documentation prompt. We do have a few templates to help you out. So in this case, let's say I want to do a full function level deep dive documentation, but I want the documentation length to be very short. Let's see what kind of prompt is then generated. So here you see the documentation prompt. You see that this is a structured prompt where some parts are fixed and can't be changed, and other parts are fully editable and can be changed as much as you want. We also have a fully manual section, but in this case, I want to stick to the structured prompt as that maintains all of our features. So I see here, I have file overview, core functionality, functions, and then for every function, I have the purpose and parameter and what it returns. So this is very short, maybe a little bit too short. So let's make it a little bit longer. All right. So file overview, summary, dependencies, function, just as before, but now everything is a little bit longer. It's not one sentence, it's a brief overview. Great. Here we can choose the file types we want to have included for this documentation. So keep in mind, you can actually save multiple custom prompts for every file type. One for TypeScript, one for Python. But now for simplicity, I'm just going to include all file types for this prompt. So let's save the custom prompt. And this will actually allow me to go ahead and continue. So now you can see that the repository files are being indexed. And if you go to our AI docs, we can see that it's currently indexing. So now you can see that the indexing is finished. I can use the search to find files. And if I click on active file, the file shown here will be mirroring the file shown here and vice versa. So if I click on a different file here, it will also change the file in VS Code. Or if I change the file in VS Code, it will also change the documentation file over there. So let's take a look at one example of the documentation that's been created. If I click here on the table of contents, I can jump down to that function. I can click on that function here to find it in the document as long as I have the active file activated. And when I'm scrolling down this file, I can hover over functions to view them here. So in this case, open results and search results, I can see what it does, I can see its parameters, and I can see what it returns. But in this case, this has been very much customized by myself. If I don't like the way the documentation looks, I can go to customize, I can delete the custom prompt, and I can make a new one. And then I can go back to my AI documentation and I can say I want to change it, go ahead and regenerate it. I also forgot to mention that it automatically regenerates all documentation files for any file that you've made any changes in. So if you make a change in any of your code files, it'll detect those changes and it will automatically update the documentation files for those code files every 10 minutes. If that's too slow, you can always regenerate and get a new documentation file right away. So super useful and super quick way to create comprehensive documentation for your whole code base. You can split it up per file type, and it really helps to quickly get accustomed to what your code does what's important for your code for yourself. And the customizability really is an amazing feature when it comes to making the documentation only talk about the things that you wanted to talk about. All right. Thank you so much. That was Assisti. It was a pleasure having you today. Hope to see you again soon.